Hi guys, it's Nancy and I am back after an extended break and feeling much better, so have a better voice. I am just here with a video that was up for my April blog post using the Magnolia Jane collection from Heidi Swap. So what I'm doing here is, if you saw my previous video, you know I did a whole load of silhouette cuts. This is a floral piece, and I cut it from one of the papers which was kind of quite distressed, had some sort of text piece on it, and so I'm just going around the outsides with a paintbrush and my mist, and just giving it so it stands out a bit. You can also see there's a little bird there that I've done the same on. So I'm going to use that background paper, which has kind of got some sort of distressed elements on it. It's got floral, it's got the pink pieces. I really love the tones of pink in this collection. I'm going to be scrapping a photo from a little getaway break that me and my boyfriend took up in the Lake District, just for a long weekend. And it was a beautiful little cottage that we were in. And so this is just a shot of one of the bedrooms, which had a beautiful brick wall behind it. So yeah, it was really lovely. So I'm just using some offcuts from a piece that I used in a previous layout, and I'm just going to be mounting up that photo. As I said last time, there is lots of florals in this collection. There's beautiful acetates, and of course these tags. Really love these tags. So that floral piece that I've just placed down there, I fussy cut a whole sheet of that paper. I bought that piece of paper with the intention of I'm going to fussy cut that all out and use it as embellishments. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of embellishments in the ephemera packs, but you know, they are kind of expensive. So I'm trying to get a bit better at using the papers in the collection to cut out my own. So on this die cut here, I am just covering up the middle of those flowers, because where I was overlapping it, you were kind of seeing through like odd bit of photo, odd bit of the mount, and I didn't like it. It was displeasing. So I'm just using a little offcut of the paper to cover those over, and I do end up using some Nouveau crystals on those just to give those a little bit of bling on the final layout. So it just stops, you know, the background, you know, layers showing through, you know, and each to their own, but I didn't like it. So I've also pulled out one of the acetate words that say Bliss, and I'm going to use that. So I'm taking the end of one of my sprayer bottles. This is a Dilutions Grey, and I'm just scratching up and down the page with it. I'm going with the sort of linear effect of the paper, and as you can see, it's got that sort of botanical sort of print in the background anyway. So I'm just going to build some layers up, and if you've watched my past couple of videos, you'll know that I've kind of taken some inspiration from myself, really. Look back through my older albums and like my older style, and like, I really like doing that background stuff. Why have I stopped doing it? Have I stopped doing it because, you know, I've kind of fell in love with new techniques? And I was like, no, not really. I've just stopped doing it because, yeah, I don't know, I wasn't seeing it around and it's a bit more time consuming, but I was like, no, I'm going to go back to that. So I'm using the same actually what I used on the previous layout, which is this Adirondack pink paint, which works really well with this collection. It's just like an acrylic paint. And I'm just using my brush and my stencil. And as I know roughly where I'm going to place my items, I'm just doing that in sort of 3 or 4 random places around the layout. I also kept kind of the similar mist that I used on the previous layouts. Kind of a bit lazy as well. I had the stuff out on my desk, so I kind of used it, but actually it worked on all of, you know, the layouts really well. I also sat down and made the 3 layouts of blog post sort of concurrently, because, you know, I find that if I'm working with a collection, I find it easier to kind of do it all at once. And as like each of my layouts takes me, you know, maximum of about 40 minutes, I don't, you know, I find that if I've got sort of 3 hours to sit down, I can normally get 3 layouts done as well. And normally just sit and chill and listen to a podcast or an audiobook or that. I don't tend to watch Netflix and stuff as much now. I've kind of gone a little bit off TV watching. But yeah, so I tend to just, you know, just sort of chill out and just kind of get them all done, which also means, you know, I feel I'm slightly more productive when I do get scrap. I don't scrap anywhere near as much as I used to, and at the moment it's just because of just the situation that I'm in at the moment. I don't have the space. I have my scrap desk and things like that, but it's not easily accessible all the time. So I will be going back to the caravan for the bits in the summer, so that will mean I'll have more space, which hopefully means I'll be more productive with my scrapping. But you know, these things just goes in cycles, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. I don't feel the need to apologise about it, but you know, as you guys know, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know, scrapbooking has not gone out of favour with me. I've still been doing it. I've maybe not been sharing as much on my channel, but I've still been doing, I still do my blog posts every month for Hey Little Magpie. I am still doing monthly blog posts for the Go Go Getaway blog as well. And of course I designed for their recent retreat. We've got a day away coming up, which I've also going to be doing some stuff for. So yeah, I'm still doing bits. I'm just maybe not sharing as much to do that. But I hope you guys understand that, and I hope you enjoy my videos even if they're not as often. So yeah, I did have the video cut out on me, but all I was doing was really sticking bits down, which you'd seen before. I had to let all that background layers dry, and so I just stuck that gold tag down, and as I said before, that tag has the reinforcers that you can change. So I've just layered that up. I put Nuvo crystal drops in the middle of those flowers, and then I do end up dotting some round in that background as well. It's actually a super simple layout, but I really like how it's come along, and I'm just taking the final sort of little finial bits of sort of like, I suppose it's just like the greenery bits, and just stick them in just to help build out that cluster. And really that's it for its layout. It's super simple. I like all the background texture because it just makes everything pop, and as I said, because it's just a simple photo as well, the tones work really well with it. I do find with all these little bits that I cut out, all those little leaves and stuff, I could have just kept adding and adding and adding them. I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to add some final bits of mist over the top. You can't really read that sort of Bliss clear the acetate piece very well, but in flesh it's much more visible. So I'm just going to end up mounting up my layout. I don't think I even gutted out that piece of paper because I'm like, I have so much paper. So I end up just sticking it down, and that white just makes everything pop. So here are some photos. Thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you all again very, very soon. Cheers guys, bye!